What if I told you that a man who redefined luxury in Monaco didn't simply relocate there? They call him in a country smaller than New York Central Park. Zeus is a living symbol of ambition, extravagance, and mystery. He created his own modern Olympus, a world where golden supercars, private yachts, and million-dollar penthouses circle his name. In this world, money is more than just power, it's identity. Zeus transformed wealth into performance art, turning Monaco's skyline into the set for his billionaire fantasy, but even the brightest lights can hide the darkest secrets. Welcome to our channel, where we reveal the tales that luxury tries to conceal. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell because what you're about to witness goes far beyond the news and into the untold world of Monaco's most enigmatic man. By the end, you might begin to wonder if Zeus created the fantasy or if the fantasy created him. What if success wasn't inherited but rather engineered long before the world called him? Zeus was merely a man pursuing the notion that riches isn't only about numbers but also about presence. He began with very little, but he recognized something others didn't. The future would belong to those who could demand attention while the majority of people labored in silence. Zeus viewed life as a magnificent stage on which his every action was a performance, and his image had the power to create an empire more quickly than any stock or business. The vehicles that go well with the timepieces. When he landed in Monaco, people didn't simply see him. They sensed that he was in a city already crowded with wealthy and influential people. Every little detail was a message, a sign of control, confidence, and mystery. From the shadows of ambition to the limelight of luxury, Zeus's gilded lifestyle turned attention. His charisma opened doors, and his audacious vision made Monaco appear like part of his tale. He became a living myth. Every legend begins with a spark, and soon that spark will cause the entire kingdom of Monaco to light and blaze simultaneously. They say that if paradise had a zip code, it would be Monaco. Zeus perfected the contemporary art of power by curiosity rather than force. Despite having only 2 square kilometers of land, every inch is glistening with opulence. Supercars speed along streets with marble hotels, palace-sized yachts float on blue waterways, and the night skyline twinkles like a diamond crown. This is more than simply a nation. It's a stage created for the wealthy where money plays and Zeus is praised globally. For a guy who understood the power of spectacle in this microstate of magnets and movie stars, Monaco was the ideal location. Luxury isn't scarce here, it's the air itself. No income taxes, boundless seclusion, and a reputation that converts fortune into legend. While others came to conceal their wealth, Zeus saw opportunity and beauty. His mythology included every nighttime drive through Casino Square and every glass of champagne he had while staring out over Port Hercules. What if everything you owned could become a chapter in your legend? For Zeus, luxury wasn't just comfort, it was storytelling. Every car, marble floor, and reflection on the water was part of a grand narrative. He didn't just fit into Monaco's story, he rewrote it in gold. However, paradise, no matter how perfect, comes with its own set of rules, silent, unspoken, and unforgiving. In Monaco, where even billionaires vie for attention, the ascent of a man who dared to live beyond boundaries with speed and the sound of motors resonating through Monaco's winding streets, Zeus established an empire that was not only wealthy but also remarkable. His garage wasn't a collection, rather it was a gallery of dreams. From a golden Lamborghini that gleamed in the Riviera sun to a unique Bugatti built to his specifications, each vehicle represented a different aspect of his ambition. When Zeus drove through Casino Square, heads turned not only for the car, but also for the man who made it his signature. Every flash of light across the hood reminded Monaco that image could be louder than fortune itself. Then came the sea, where billionaires' yachts became floating kingdoms. High above it all stood Zeus's flagship ship, a marvel of glass, gold, and precision. From the Italian marble floors to the expansive decks overlooking the harbor, every surface gleamed. The nights on board weren't parties, but rather performance gatherings where success met spectacle and every moment was meticulously choreographed. His penthouse, carved into Monaco's skyline like a monument to ambition, was framed by floor-to-ceiling windows that framed the Riviera while art, fragrance, and light blended into a scene that few would ever see. Zeus was surrounded by quiet, prosperity, and a city that both adored and envied him. But underneath all of that genius was a fact that few realized. Perfection requires ongoing maintenance. In Monaco, a place where appearances rule, Zeus became an artist and his masterpiece was himself. Every detail was planned, from the cars he chose to the backdrop he stood against, the golden glow, the reflection of yachts, the Monaco skyline, etc. Every symbol of victory comes with a shadow, and every empire, no matter how golden, carries the weight of expectation. Whether it was sunsets from his boat, coffee next to priceless artwork, or peaks of his penthouse view, Zeus turned ordinary events into cinematic icons that millions of people watched online. These weren't postings. They were evidence that the contemporary god of luxury was real and that his brand was authentic. Beyond material belongings, Zeus Gold became a way of thinking, a way of life, and a dream that millions aspired to but few could afford. However, beneath the golden filters and perfect frames, the illusion started to wear thin, because when the world demands perfection, there is no room for pause or imperfection. The image had to shine even when reality dimmed, because behind the lens, every icon faces the same question. When does the brand become bigger than the man? What if in Monaco, where beauty is money and charm is strategy? Whether they were walking alongside Zeus through the marble corridors of Monte Carlo or stepping off a yacht into a sea of cameras, the women around him became more than just friends. They were reflections of the world he ruled and occasionally the mirror that showed who he really was. Every appearance with Zeus became a headline. Mystery and quiet authority. They weren't chosen for attention, they were chosen for alignment. Each represented a different part of the image he wanted the world to see. Sophistication, intelligence, and power wrapped in perfection. But in the shimmering surface of those relationships was a deeper story. Behind every smile and champagne toast lay a silent understanding in Monaco's high society. Affection often walked hand in hand with ambition. Some admired him, others challenged him, and a few became legends of their own. They were not merely guests in Zeus's empire, they were architects of his mythology, helping him shape the narrative of success and allure that defined his reign at galas on yachts and during private art events. They stood beside him like living jewels, the kind that can't be bought, only earned through influence and charisma, yet even the most dazzling gem can cast a shadow. The more flawless the image appeared, the more fragile it became. Because in a city built on appearances, even loyalty can blur into leverage. And Zeus was about to learn that every empire, no matter how golden, is vulnerable to the power of human emotion. What if the most beautiful life in the world was also the most fragile? Behind the gold-tinted windows of Zeus's penthouse, the atmosphere was very different from the glamorous image he shared with the world. The laughter, the parties, and the glow of champagne glasses often faded into quiet rooms filled with strategy, calculation, and the pressure to stay on top. Because in Monaco, image isn't just influence. It's survival. As his fame grew, so did the whispers. Some wondered how one man could grow so quickly, show up everywhere, and attract so much attention. Others wondered what really drove his empire, fate or something more subtle, and his ability to transform mystery into magnetism. Every rumor and headline became a tool and a threat, and Zeus was always the strategist. Power has a pulse, and even the strongest heartbeat begins to race when control starts to slip. What if the legend you created started to live longer and louder than you in Monaco? Instead of fleeing from stories, he reshaped them. He gave interviews that hinted at truths without revealing too much. Each move was a masterclass in control, the art of owning a narrative before it owned you. However, behind that mastery was a man who had to watch every word, every look, and every moment. Zeus was already a concept and not just a guy. Young business people looked up to his confidence as a sign of ambition, flair, and the unafraid pursuit of beauty. Artists admired his flair. Even billionaires watched his rise, curious about how a single individual could turn lifestyle into legacy. To many, Zeus wasn't just successful, he was proof that audacity could rewrite destiny, but every symbol carries a double edge. The more his story inspired others, the less control he had over how it was told. Social media amplified his image into legend, transforming fact into fantasy. People no longer asked who Zeus was. They argued over what he represented to some. He embodied freedom and creativity to others. He was a reflection of excess and illusion. The myth had escaped the man Zeus. Ever the observer began to sense the irony. The image he had created to project power had now become his own cage. Every new appearance had to outshine the last. Every word had to sound larger than life. The perfection that once defined him now demanded constant performance, a role that allowed no pause, no imperfection, no truth. Yet beneath that golden surface, something genuine remained for all the spectacle. As every legend eventually learns, time reveals what fame cannot hide. And for Zeus, the next chapter wouldn't be written in gold. Instead, it would be the truth that behind every glittering empire, there was a silence no one dared to film. Zeus's rise told a story about possibility, about daring to dream beyond your limits, and about creating reality from imagination. Whether admired or misunderstood, he had changed the way the world looked at success. Perfection is the foundation of Monaco. Perfection often comes with a cost, and for Zeus, the man who had transformed luxury into legend, that cost was loneliness. The higher he rose, the smaller his circle became, until the only person left to impress was the reflection in the mirror behind closed doors. The rhythm of excess started to echo differently, and the endless parties, the perfect photos, and the never-ending pursuit of admiration began to feel less like celebration and more like repetition. The dream that had once lifted him now started to weigh him down. In Monaco, everything shines, but not everything glows with meaning. People see the yachts, the penthouses, the gold, but not the discipline. When your life turns into art, reality fades into the background, but the myth endures. The city that once watched him with curiosity now guards his secrets with admiration to Monaco. They missed the quiet moments on the balcony when even Zeus wondered if he had created freedom or a beautiful cage because of the late nights or the constant pressure to stay ahead. Zeus was a part of its story, the man who gave its legend a face and its silence a pulse. But every story has a last chapter. The untold truth about Zeus is not how he lived like a god, but rather how he remained human in a place that worships perfection. Because in the end, paradise belongs to those who understand its cost, from the shadows of ambition to the spotlight of luxury. In Monaco, Zeus created a tale that captivated the world's attention in addition to an empire. He became a representation of what it meant to have limitless dreams, to make dreams come true, and to live each moment as though it were a masterpiece. But behind all the glitz and glamour, there is a message for all of us. True power comes from creating and having the guts to pursue your own definition of greatness, not from possessing things. Inside the Billionaires, here we examine individuals, their passions, and the costs associated with them rather than only discussing riches. Zeus demonstrated that luxury is about legacy as much as lifestyle, and his tale serves as a reminder that even the most successful lives are based on risk-taking, tenacity, and unwavering faith. Please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell if you like this trip inside Monaco's golden realm so you don't miss the next tale from the world of millionaires. Thank you for viewing, and keep in mind that there is a tale to be told in every paradise. I hope to see you in the upcoming episode.